We're seeing a bunch of really bullish factors that could be signaling that the altcoin market is starting to heat up. And so with this, I want to see what this could mean for XRP, because as we have seen, I think it's fairly comfortable to say that XRP has basically been leading the altcoin market, and it's been really impressive to see the returns that XRP has done. So because we may be getting near the top of this bull market and we may still have kind of that last crazy run to the upside, I wanted to ask AI and see what AI thinks in terms of what the top could be for XRP, as well as when it thinks the top could be. I think these are two, of course, incredibly important questions, quite literally the $1 million questions. So I want to talk about all of that today, as well as just going over some of the things and some of the bullish factors that we are seeing for XRP, including some really kind of short-term immediate things that we're seeing out of the XRP chart that are looking pretty good. So we'll get started. First off, we're going to take a look at the altcoin season index, because we can see, if we do kind of scroll down here a little bit, we can see a really nice, steady and sustained move to the upside towards altcoin season. Now, of course, I don't actually know if we're going to get there right this moment, but it's looking like this is a much more stable and kind of sustained build than what we kind of saw out of here, where it just kind of peaked into altcoin season and then right back down. And so I think in my mind, this is what's looking good. And it does give me some confidence that if we move into altcoin season, it's going to be a little bit more of a sustainable move rather than just an immediate peak up and then peak down. Now, moving on, I want to take a look at XRP's chart, because we're also seeing it break out of a really important structure. We'll get rid of this lower trend line because we've kind of already seen it kind of break and confirm break through that. But now we've actually also seen that confirmed break through that larger and that higher trend line as well. I still do think that there is a possibility that it comes back down, potentially bounces off of this trend line, and then comes right back up. But again, we'll just have to see for sure. This is something, though, that I kind of remain flexible to kind of both outcomes. As I have mentioned, right now we're right at almost exactly $3. We're struggling to break and sustain above that $3 range. And then, of course, we do have that kind of $3.06 to $3.08 range after that. So we do kind of have two really tough ranges, one right after the other. If we can see XRP's price break through that, we're going to be sitting in a really good situation. So, but we can see here, nothing too crazy going on, at least at this point. We have overall the RSI sitting in a pretty sustainable spot. We've got the Bollinger Band sitting in a pretty sustainable spot. Things are looking pretty good with XRP. And we do actually have our XRP trades still open here, up about 33.5%. Pretty decent looking trade so far. As I have mentioned, we'll actually pull this chart up because it's going to show us a couple of different things. As I have mentioned, I'm kind of looking for a bounce off of this trend line to maybe double or even perhaps triple down on my XRP position. But at least right now, I'm just holding tight, keeping the profit that I have currently, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there, and we can make some decisions on if we want to take profits or not. Now, one key thing that we have seen is we've gotten up into this range where the 60-day moving average is also sitting kind of in that $3.06 to $3.08 range. It's about $3.05.5. But we're seeing so many resistance factors in this range. We can even see the top of the Bollinger Bands sitting at about $3.09. So we are really just quite compressed with a bunch of different resistance factors that XRP is going to run into. We need to see a really strong and sustained push through all of these factors, a break, sustain above it, and then maybe even a retest. And I think that would look absolutely unreal for XRP. So I'm very much watching this quite closely. So far, as I mentioned, I'm just kind of sitting on the trade that I have. Things are looking pretty good right now, and so I'm not looking to do anything too crazy to put that trade at risk. That overall is looking like it's doing well so far. So again, there is always the possibility that maybe we break down, we do hit the stop loss, but at least for right now, XRP is holding its structure incredibly well. So I am looking to kind of see what we can get out of this upside momentum. In addition, kind of speaking to altcoin season and all of the potential upsides, the upside moves that we could see, I do have a couple of trades open here. I just actually opened my Tau trade yesterday. The Zebek trade has been open for about a week or so. And then, of course, Ondo is the only one that's down just a little bit, but I'm not particularly worried about Ondo. I feel pretty good about that one, with ICP kind of being about break even at this point. So we'll see how this one goes as well. But overall, we do have a decent bit of trades open. if you are interested in trading crypto using maybe potentially leverage, maybe even just trading straight up on the spot exchanges, you can use my link in the description below if you are interested. I usually do leverage trading in addition to the holding of crypto, just because I think it helps me stay engaged and pay a little bit more attention to the market. I am not trading the majority of my money on leverage, but I do think that it is a really, really great way to stay involved with the market and learn about how the market works. So that's what I've been doing. It's been working out fairly well for me. If you are interested, like I said, I do have those affiliate links in the description below with those exclusive bonuses. I believe Weex is giving, I can't remember exactly how much, but they do have deposit and transaction or volume bonuses. BTCC, though, in my opinion, does have kind of the best bonus at this point, which is a 10% guaranteed bonus on your first time deposits. So it's a really, really good deal. If you are interested, just feel free to get signed up using the link in the description below. And let's go on ahead and move on and talk about some of the other data that we're seeing that is indicating potentially a really, really strong move to the upside for altcoins. Here we can see that the altcoin golden cross is confirmed. The last time this happened, the altcoin market pumped by 140%, which sent many alts 3 to 5x in just 2 months. A massive alt season is loading for Q4. I think many of us have always been kind of thinking that Q4 was going to be big. Currently, it is lining up this way. We're seeing this golden cross happen. You could see the last time it happened in like late 2023, you can see that's when we had that massive run up into kind of peaking out at March. So we did see a really, really strong move. I would even say kind of early 2024 may have been a better and nicer move than what we saw out of late 2024. I just think late 2024 had a little bit more hype behind it because of the like institutional and regulatory changes that we knew might be coming with that type of news. So overall, looking really, really good here, and I'm very interested to see what happens next. I do think Q4 is going to be huge for crypto and altcoins, particularly XRP. I mean, XRP has just been looking unstoppable. And so with that, I wanted to do some quick price predictions using ChatGPT's new model. It's been out for, I think, a couple weeks at this point, but I want to kind of talk about what ChatGPT is seeing for XRP price forecast. We can see here that conservative to steady target price would be about $3 to $5 between the end of 2025 to 2026. And again, this is what I gave essentially the prompt of what will the price be at the top of the bull market and when will we see this happen? And so we can see the window that it's giving is between late 2025 to mid 2026. This is kind of when it thinks crypto will see a top. And then from there, these are the prices in that range. So here you can see $3 to $5 is kind of that conservative outcome. Basically, we're pretty much there at this point. Maybe we see that continued upside to $5, and this gets us there kind of into 2025, maybe even into that mid 2026 range. The moderately bullish outcome is about $7 to $10. This is again kind of happening in that similar type of time frame. And then the highly bullish, or the 333% rally, would be between $13 to $25, which would be absolutely insane. That would put us at possibly late 2025. I think what ChatGPT is seeing here is the possibility of just a completely unhinged, detached from reality type of move where we see all altcoins doing absolutely wild numbers. And in a market like that, we could see kind of some peaks up into this $25 range for XRP, which would be nuts. Now here we have the extreme bull case, which surprisingly is a little bit lower than kind of the top prediction here for this highly bullish case. But this is essentially getting us to a $15 XRP, which would still be a 5x from here. So potentially indicating that we do have a long way up to go for XRP, even though we have seen such insane moves already from XRP. So here we can kind of get this abbreviated response, which is the most likely outcome is between the $7 to $15 range. So even still on the low end of ChatGPT's kind of most likely outcome, we are seeing over a 2x from where we are now, up until all the way about a 5x, especially if the bullish technical setups mature into institutional mechanisms like futures listings gain traction. A plausible timing for that top would be between Q4 of 2025 and mid 2026, a window backed by increasing investor interest, regulatory clarity, and macro tailwinds. That said, this remains highly speculative. Expect volatility, surprises, and the potential for both higher highs and sharp pullbacks. So again, nothing really too unusual there. We are all familiar with the crypto space, and so I think we get that volatility is kind of implied here. But it is interesting that the timeline and the price that it gave aligns so closely to many things that we have been talking about on the channel. I promise I'm not consulting ChatGPT every single day to get its ideas of what it thinks is going to happen to crypto. I think though this is just kind of an interesting confluence of a whole bunch of different data that we are seeing, and it is showing up in things like ChatGPT when it's aggregating all of this data. So it does feel pretty good to know that we are seeing kind of a similar type of thing there. Overall, though, I'm very, very interested to see what Q4 holds, because I do think we potentially see some pretty wild moves in Q4. We are seeing the altcoin golden cross. Again, every time that has happened, we have seen some major moves. So get ready. I think that we could be close. And if you have been in crypto, you do know things like this just come out of complete nowhere and they move fast. So you have to make sure that you are ready, and you have to make sure that you're positioned and paying attention. So anyway, overall, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, of course, a like and a subscribe does help. You can also hit that notification bell, so if you want to follow and stay tuned for more updates, you can also do that as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you have any comments, anything like that, would love to hear those from you as well. And if you are interested in getting started trading, you can use those links in the description below. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.